For more than 2 years, Aung Lee was unable to do her job properly. The United Nations expert on human rights in Myanmar was barred from the country in late 2017 as the government labelled her biased and unfair. Just months earlier, security forces had begun their latest and most violent crackdown against Rohingya communities in Rakhine State. Now, as she prepares to leave her position, Lee says the military continues to deliberately target Rohingya and other ethnic groups as it fights a Buddhist separatist army.
They know where the houses are, they know where the villages are, they know where schools are. One monastery was also hit, and shellings and bombings continue. And it's really hard to believe that they're not targeting civilians.
Following the violence of 2017, hundreds of thousands of Rohingya fled to neighbouring Bangladesh, where they remain. The murder, rape and torture carried out by security forces was documented by many rights groups and resulted in genocide charges being laid against Myanmar at the International Court of Justice. In December last year, Myanmar's leader Aung San Suu Kyi travelled to The Hague to open her government's defence against the charges, which she said are misleading. In a preliminary ruling, the judges ordered the National League for Democracy, or NLD government, and the military to take steps to prevent further attacks on the Rohingya. But Lee and other observers say nothing has happened.
It's not just about the active human rights attacks by the Burmese army, it's also the system of repression that is in place. And both the army and the government have done absolutely nothing to lift those restrictions on the Rohingya population, their restriction of movement, their right to citizenship. All of those, which are essentially apartheid conditions in Rakhine State, remain.
Suu Kyi was once held up as a symbol of hope for Myanmar, but her silence and inaction on rights abuses mean most of that hope has been extinguished. Aung Lee says she's utterly disappointed in her.
We all knew that she was put on a pedestal or portrayed as the icon of democracy and human rights. But ever since the NLD has taken office, and ever since she took the office of the state counselor, all of her actions and her words, statements point otherwise.
There's an election scheduled later this year and Suu Kyi's party will be expected to win again. Many believe the military, which once ruled the country for almost 50 years, will continue to control it from behind the scenes. And the UN's new human rights inspector will probably continue to be banned. Wayne Hay, Al Jazeera.